Star Wars geek girls. They're geek girls that like Star Wars. And sometimes cry.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Star Wars Geek Girl. As usual, I'm Zoe, and I'm here with Lizzy.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Disney Plus Day did not give us as much as we thought it would. I mean, we got a lot of Marvel stuff that was cool.
We did get a lot of Marvel.
Not as much Star Wars. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Marvel stuff is cool.
It's cool, but this is not a Marvel podcast, so that doesn't help us very much. So it was a Boba Fett documentary, which I did not get a chance to watch yet. Maybe I'll watch it, and then we can talk about it another time.
Yes.
But the other thing that they had was concept art for Obi-Wan Kenobi, the series, not the character, but the character's in it. So,
yes. And then, well, I thought, because I didn't see the concept art, but I saw the teaser that they released on Disney Plus.
The teaser had the concept art in it.
Oh, got it. Well,
I
I thought you meant like an actual website that was like, here's concept art.
No, the concept art was in the teaser.
Got it. Yes. Okay. I do remember some of that. Okay.
Yeah, there was literally only like 5
Yes.
pieces. We're gonna talk about it.
Yes.
Okay. Here, I'm gonna send you the link I'm looking at with the slides so that we can be on the page and look at it.
I think so I don't like Vader, but I think it is still cool that they're like trying to put that together, you know, like put Obi-Wan and Vader, because literally where they left off with Obi-Wan and Vader's, Obi-Wan just slices all his limbs off pretty much.
Right.
So
and I think Obi-Wan and Vader are such integral parts of each other's stories. Like an Obi-Wan series would pretty much have to have at least something about Vader. Yeah, so the concept art, there's one piece and it's presumably Obi-Wan. It's actually just a cloaked figure, so mysterious, but presumably Obi-Wan. The blue lightsaber and stuff. Fighting in what looks like a ship being destroyed. There's like fire and like mangled metal and stuff. And the other piece is Vader looking at a hologram, sitting in a like little throne.
Yes.
Looks like the Mustafar castle to me, like the inside. Very spooky, but like it could be something else, I guess. And then Obi-Wan in the back. What are those things called? The weird snout creatures that they ride on Tatooine?
I do not know. That is a better question for my dad.
Yeah. Well, he's riding one of those, a little old, and it's all Tatooine gear. And then there's a ship, very Imperial scary looking ship with a person in black. It looks like it might be an Inquisitor, but it's kind of small, so it's hard to tell like all the details. And then some stormtroopers. And then finally a big building with like green light, very green teal light. A bunch of stormtroopers walking around. Yeah, that's what we got.
Pretty. Yeah, I mean, yay. Those snout things. What are they in? What else?
I think they might be.
They're just on Tatooine,
like the guy
right?
one in Revenge of the Sith.
Yes.
Let's Google. Love Google. Okay. Well, it's not those. Those are green. No, those are green. Ah, the Varactyl. I know what those are. Yopi. That's right, Yopi.
That sounds like what it would be.
Yeah, they're really cute.
But Yeah, there's not a lot, but I like the idea of having all the Inquisitors again.
Maybe not all. A few of
Well,
them
not
are.
all of them, but like more.
Or when does this take place? Because Jedi Fallen Order. I don't know. I'm really intrigued by the shot in like the big building with the green and all of the stormtroopers. Because, and I'm probably very much reaching, but the big
At this
tall
point,
like
probably not.
the big tall like windows with like the teal light and like the really like the big like fancy hall reminds me of like Mandalore. You know,
It looked familiar, and I'm not saying that because I always say that, even if it doesn't look familiar to me. But like the color more so is
Mandalore
familiar.
Christophsis could be something too. I'm just thinking like those are both places Obi-Wan's at least been to. Mandalore he has a little bit more of a personal connection to. Obviously Obi-Wan's not in this part, it's just stormtroopers, but it's like, that could be a new place.
Yeah, they're taking over Mandalore at this point, right? So not too far of a reach.
No.
It's not like saying like any woman in Star Wars is Rey's mom.
Right.
Kind of reach. But yeah, again, they really did not give us much for this. I went to my dad and I was like, hey, what's the new stuff about Obi-Wan that they have? His response was like, what do you mean how new? Not like what new? And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, how new is new? And I was like, new. He was like, Master and Apprentice is like 2 to 3 years old. And I was like, that's not new. And then he was like, they announced a few books this May, June. One is Brotherhood, Kenobi and Anakin at the start of the Clone War. Other one is Padawan, Young Kenobi and with Qui-Gon. And he just kept going off. And I was like, no, just this week. And he was like, oh yeah, this is a real on Disney Plus. So thank you, Father.
Yeah, not very much. I'm excited that there's an Inquisitor. I think Inquisitors are really cool. And a live action spinny lightsaber.
No.
Pretty sweet, I think. If it doesn't spin, I'm gonna be a little upset. Just saying.
No, I really don't like their spinny umbrella lightsabers.
I don't have to use it as a helicopter, but I just wanted to spin.
I think they could do that in real life.
I know they can. It's just will they? I hope they will. The Vader versus Obi-Wan fight is really interesting to me. But like again, we don't know if it's Obi-Wan. It's just a person with a blue lightsaber wearing a cloak. Could technically be anyone. Also, just concept art, so it might not even be in the show.
Throughout the like trailer, they just used old scenes,
right?
And like put stitched in the like there was a scene of like Vader fighting Luke, and you don't see Luke, but then they cut to like Obi-Wan, and I was like, why?
They're just trying to get you hype without actually revealing anything.
But it just looked funny.
It's very funny.
Whatever. Yeah, again, there was a lot more Marvel stuff that was cool. I'm just saying.
It's not a Marvel podcast.
Did you watch Shang-Chi?
No.
It's really good.
I've not been watching movies or shows. I've been watching Critical Role. But
what's that?
It's D&D show.
But
it's also not Star Wars.
Yeah, that's true. Can you put Star Wars in it? Can you make a Star Wars D&D?
I mean, there is a Star Wars tabletop role-playing game. There's a few, I think. But I've not played them. I've just played regular D&D. Well, technically, I didn't kill it. I helped a werewolf kill itself in my last D&D session. Yeah.
Interesting. Why?
He was really sad because his family was killed, and then he started killing people. But then we caught him, and me and the ranger really messed him up with our magic. But then I felt bad, so I just gave him my knife and was like, "Do it yourself." And he did.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Can you be anything in D&D?
I mean, depends on your DM, but generally, yes. What would you want to be?
An opossum.
Just like a possum, like the animal?
Yeah.
Like a possum person.
No, a possum. That would be terrifying. A possum.
I mean, I don't know how you do stats for that to just like be a regular possum. I guess you could, but you have to do some home brewing. Although I'm a druid, so I can turn into animals. So I could turn into a possum.
You should turn into a possum.
I could also turn into a bear.
What about a Nexu?
I could turn into a cat.
Why no Star Wars?
Well, because it's not a Star Wars campaign. It's a regular Dungeons and Dragons campaign.
But why can't it have Star Wars elements to it?
I mean, it could. We would just have to homebrew it. That can take a lot of work. I don't know.
Homebrew?
Like make it yourself, because there's no official stats and stuff for it in
the
Dungeons and Dragons rules.
I thought you made that all up.
Made
already.
what?
Stats and stuff.
Well, you take guidance from books, or else everyone would just make their character super powerful right away, and that's no fun.
Got it. Star Wars.
You could do a D&D campaign. You could podcast it too. Because Critical Role is just like people playing D&D, but they record it and post it, and you just follow like a story, and it's like a podcast. We could do that.
Especially with how how little Disney Plus is giving us of anything right now.
We have Throne Ascendancy came out yesterday. I got the book in the mail, but I haven't read the first two Throne Ascendancy.
I was gonna say, I thought you didn't read the first two.
Well, okay. So I decided I want to do a reread of the first three Throne books. So I'm rereading Alliances right now. And then I'm going to reread Treason. And then I'm going to read the Ascendancy books. And I'll be all caught up.
Nice. And then you can figure out how to read War of the Bounty Hunters.
Maybe. I'm actually reading The Rising Storm after Thrawn.
My father and I and Haas did a podcast about War of the Bounty Hunters. It was pretty cool.
I'll read the comics at some point. Actually, I have my reading schedule, including the new books that they announced, like the Padawan or Brotherhood or whatever, all those books. I should be done reading and rereading all Star Wars books by the end of July.
Interesting.
Yes.
It's a lot of reading.
I just read a book a week. I can do it.
I don't have the attention span for that.
I read 200 pages of Throne in one sitting.
I can't even do much in my Animal Crossing world because my attention span is just like non-existent. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna figure out what kind of like pathway I like. And I'm like tearing down like a third of the pathway, and then I'm like, oh wait, I have to like demolish this bridge, and then I leave. And then I'm like, oh right, I have to go see what's in Nook's Cranny right now. And then nothing gets done.
Interesting.
Yes.
It is, by the way, I don't know if we said this yet. It is on, they were recording this Life Day.
Yes, it is Life Day. What are you gonna do on your Life Day?
Actually, I have a lot of work to do today. This. It's not much fun stuff, I guess. But yes, last night I had, because I do my Star Wars club at the residence, and we watched the holiday special, and quite a few of them had not seen it before, which was really fun. They hated it. It was amazing. And I think one of them, it was really funny. At one point, this one kid goes, he's like, what about the Wookiee attack on my senses? And I thought it was very funny. Just get it, the droid attack on the Wookiees.
Yeah. No,
I mean,
my dad definitely doesn't send me that meme like all the time.
I thought it was quite amusing myself.
I'm proud of you. So then not much.
No. How's your life day going to go?
I am currently, it's my day off, so I'm just laying around. I played games. I played the Animal Crossing.
Nice.
I ate something. That was good. I talked to my roommates today. That was cool. They were playing games, and I was like, "Hi." They're like, "Hey." I was like, "Cool," and I left. Oh, and later I am going to Epcot to see if I can get into Space 22 and beg for it.
Nice.
Because it's a cool restaurant that like allows you to go up in space.
Cool.
And I can pretend I'm in the hotel, the Star Wars hotel, but not really. But I'm gonna pretend. Because I don't think I'll be getting into that anytime soon, even though it's been open for a while. But of course, it's so expensive.
Yeah.
They're not all closed yet. Like I think you could still make reservations, but again, it's like $5,000 to make a reservation.
It would be really cool if to do it, but money. So if someone wanted to, give it to us for free.
Yeah, if only there was a cool Disney thing out there that was like, hey, you do a podcast, you want to go to the hotel? That would be cool. That would be really awesome.
If only.
If only. We got it to Galaxy's Edge. Maybe that was our only thing.
You did.
They were like, yeah, they were like, okay, now we don't have to take them to the hotel.
Yeah. I want to go back to Galaxy's Edge. And Throne Alliances, they're on Batuu. And I'm like, I want to go.
You should come down for a week or something.
If I had the time and the money for a hotel and stuff, I would be there.
Bring your familia, okay?
That's true.
Bring the familia. Take like a weekend off.
Living in LA next fall, and I'm going to harass your familia and to take me to Oga's for my 21st birthday. Or
good
the
luck.
Either one, or the cantina.
Cantina is nice, yes.
Yeah.
Oga's is cool, but the Oga's here, I went up and I was like, hey, do you guys have any openings? And they were like, no, we don't accept walk-ins. And I was like, oh, can we make a reservation? And they were like, no, we're actually booked for the next till December, after December. And I was like, oh, wow, all right. And I was like, can I just go in and look? I just want to look. And they're like, no. And I was like, all right, I'm just asking.
No.
Just shooting my shot. But yes, I think it would be nice. I wish that, again, I just wish that I was working at Disneyland, because that would be a lot more convenient. But whatever, it's fine. I'm here. I work at Epcot. I actually kind of like Epcot. Because there's just a bunch of stuff. There's a bunch of food.
Yeah,
and
that was really cool when we went.
Yeah, I think it's cool because there's a bunch
of the cars. Did you ever get to drive the cars there?
The cars? Like the fast track
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. And in the line, you like make your car look really pretty, and then you actually get it, and it doesn't look like the car you made. Because why would it? Why would you even think that? And why would you get disappointed when the car doesn't look like the really cool purple one that you made in the line, Zoe? But then
to the manager.
and it's really fun.
Talk to the manager.
Yeah.
Demand for your purple car.
Yeah, it's like who would be stupid enough to think like the car's actually gonna look like that? Because like obviously they wouldn't want to make it. Who would think that?
I know.
So stupid.
Why would they put in the time to do that? Why would they? Okay, but I haven't been on. But now that's kind of dumb. Why would they have you choose your car and then not give you the car?
You know? But no, it's not even choosing. It's like you literally design it like
yeah,
and match, and then
well, even if it was like not the specific design, like at least like the color,
you know, maybe you're onto something.
I'm just saying. I'll talk to someone. I'll get it done. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, and I have not been on that one before, but I do know that when I go to work, because there's like the backstage area, I take the bus, and it's like right over our heads.
Oh, that's really cool.
Because it circles like around that part, so I'm always like, oh, there it goes. It's very loud.
Yeah.
But I haven't been. Now that I think about it, since I'll be around the Space 22 area, I'll probably just go try it.
Nice.
There's no Star Wars there. No Star Wars.
Sad. You gotta go to Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, Hollywood Studios is cool, but like, I just rushed through because like, I'm going through Hollywood Studios and I'm like, my only goal right now is Galaxy's Edge. So I'm just like, zoom, and I just go. But it is kind of cool because in Disneyland, the Star Tours is in like the Disneyland, like the first park, right?
Right.
But in Disney World, Star Tours is in Hollywood Studios, right next to Galaxy's Edge.
Do they still have the ATST and everything up there?
Yes, they do. It's an AT, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, is it? I can't remember. I just remember it was big.
Yes. And it's kind of cool. Did you know that they don't have here at Disney World at Space Mountain? They don't have Star Wars Space Mountain. It's just Space Mountain. I don't like it. Because
I think they have Star Wars Space Mountain sometimes.
No, apparently it's been the same like original Space Mountain for years.
Interesting.
And then also
like for like May the 4th and stuff.
I wish, but no.
Interesting.
It's still a cool ride. It's still one of my favorite rides, but it's not Star Wars. Also, one more thing. There's something else. Their Haunted Mansion is different from the Disneyland Haunted Mansion. Disneyland Haunted Mansion is based, technically ours is in like, or sorry, when I say ours, I mean Disneyland. It's like technically in the New Orleans. So it's like a white house with like columns and stuff and all that cool, interesting building structures. But the one here is somewhere in like Europe.
Yeah, so it's like Disney World.
Yeah, and the one in Disney World, it's like brown.
It's spooky.
And I don't like it. I like Disneyland better. They also don't have the Nightmare Before Christmas stuff when it's Christmas time. I'm angry. That's all. Everyone's telling me like, oh my god, Disneyland or Disney World is so much better because it's so much bigger. But Disneyland just has more like it's just cooler. It does more things where Disney World is just like, we're a big park. That's all we can do. Anyway, that's my vent.
But
they don't. I'm just saying. They have Animal Kingdom. I haven't been to Animal Kingdom. I heard it's great, but Disneyland.
If you go to Animal Kingdom, you have to ride the Yeti roller coaster.
Yeti roller coaster? Oh, yeah. Because ours, Disney World is Mount Everest, right?
It's been a very long time. I'll say yes.
That's why you should come down then. We could go to Galaxy's Edge, or I can take you to Epcot and we can eat at the restaurant that I work at.
Saying that, and now I'm gonna look at my calendar and actually think about it.
I'm just saying.
Because
I will pay for your food.
I don't know.
Just saying.
You gotta stop.
Just saying.
I'll look through my planner and my bank account and
Good.
no.
Might just message your dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just say. I'm trying to get you. I'm trying to get my family down here. I'm trying.
I say I could go and pick up Jonah on the way, whether she wants to or not.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
And
Jonah,
she's an adult with actual job and money and stuff, so she can help.
Jonah, you've been warned. You're going to Disney.
We're all going to Disney. We can't wine and dine, but we can dine.
We can dine.
Jonah can wine and dine.
I can wine
dine
next year in Disneyland.
Well, I will not be here, and I will not be there.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. There's a wine class at my school. And even if you're 21, you're not allowed to drink it.
That's exactly what is in my school. We have a wine class. You can take it, and you make a bottle of wine, but you can't drink it.
Yeah, you can't drink it, and you have to, because you're supposed to taste it. And if you're underage and you swallow it, you get expelled.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's
anyway.
Harsh.
A bit. But anyway, yeah, I'm just saying we could all go to Galaxy's Edge. That would be cool.
Yes, it would. And
just beg the people in front of Oga's to let us in. Yeah. Saying,
sounds like a plan.
Solid plan. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't have cool things. I'm an RA. Woo.
You do cool things as an RA though. You're one of the coolest RAs. I don't have any cool RAs when I'm in school.
I make bulletin boards and I do movie events and other events. And I talk to them, the children.
The children.
I got them cookies at our community meeting.
Nice.
Insomnia cookies. If anyone's ever had insomnia cookies, you know.
No.
They're where it's at.
What is it?
Philly. We're gonna insomnia. Oh, I can take you to the insomnia cookie lab.
What is it?
It's okay. So there's a bunch of insomnia cookies throughout Philly and also other places, but I don't care about that. I care about Philly. So you go to, I think there's 2 of them that have cookie labs. But you go and you go up to the counter and you say the secret password that they post on their Instagram story, and they take you and they open a bookshelf and they take you to the back, and they have a little bar where they make milkshakes and get custom cookies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's not vegan, so I went with my friends and just sat there and watched them eat, but it's still really cool.
Why wouldn't they make vegan ones?
That's the thing. They have vegan cookies in the front, but when you're in the back they're no, we don't have vegan cookies. But it's okay, well, let's go to the front.
Can I customize it to be a vegan cookie?
No.
Dang.
But it's you have vegan cookies in this building. I will pay. Just go to the front and get me a vegan cookie and bring it back. I don't understand. But it's still really cool back there. We could go.
Interesting. Yeah, and then I still need a Philly cheesecake.
Cheesesteak. We can go to Chinatown and get bubble tea. Go to Love Park, see the love sign. Then we go down the parkway and see the Spanish love sign and Big Fountain. And if you go in the winter, there's Dilworth Park's Christmas Village. Yeah, really cool.
I agree.
Yeah.
We have many things to do. And we still have a lot of time in our life. Just not time right now.
No. Well, you're coming back to New York next semester, right?
Yes.
And then you can come to Philly.
I'm like ending my program the 30th. And I was supposed, well, we're
30th
technically
of
December.
interesting.
We were supposed to technically end it the 17th, but I was not given that option. I don't know why, but you know. And then right after that, I have to road trip back up to what's it called? New York. Right after, because I'm supposed to have like 2 weeks to do that, but road tripping back might take 2 days. I don't know.
Interesting.
Yes.
Yes. But then when you're in New York, you can come down for the weekend and see me in Philly.
Yes.
Yes. And then I'll be in LA next fall, which is
Do
scary.
you know where you're going, or it's just that the goal?
I'll be in. I forget the address. I probably shouldn't say the address of the apartments. On the
No,
either.
but like
It's in like Hollywood areas where the apartments they have for us, and internships I'm supposed to select and stuff next spring semester.
got it. But like you have like the like you technically know where you're going. You just have to find the internships like around that area.
Yeah.
Got it.
Different LA. Which apparently, according to the people in my school, it's not hard to find a film internship in LA.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, so I'm excited. It'll be fun.
Do a movie with my dad in it.
I could. I'll be
As
there.
boss.
Boss movie. I'm sure he would like that. Trying to think of other Star Wars things. I did bring Chewbacca to solo night last week.
I saw.
Star Wars night. There was a lot of screaming.
That's usually what happens when you bring Chewie anywhere.
Yes. Yeah. I knew there'd be screaming. I didn't think there'd be so much screaming.
Just so much of it, just constantly.
Seriously. It's actually really funny. Because, like, you know, me and you, we're like, oh yeah, my friend Chewbacca, my friend Darth Vader. You know? Like, yeah, it's our buds with their cool costumes. So I was really worried, like, man, what if this isn't a good enough surprise? It's like just my bud Chewie. You know, I've known him since I was like 6. And then I bring him and everyone's screaming and freaking out. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just weird. This was a good surprise.
Yeah, especially it makes me feel bad because I'm like, oh, it's an R2. I don't have, not that I don't have the excitement when I see an R2, but I'm like, oh, cool. Who's the person controlling it?
Right, like, it's more like, oh, another R2, that's cool. Like, it's still cool, but it's like, yeah, R2.
It does still get me because there's not a lot of them, but when I see a chopper, I get excited.
We have a lot of R2s here. Choppers I get very hyped for. Yes. But like, yeah. It's actually really funny because some of my residents were like, wait, I wasn't here. Could you bring Chewie back? They want to see Chewie. So I might have to bring Chewie back at some point.
You must.
Yeah.
For the band.
Oh, I'm trooping the Philadelphia Flyers game on Saturday. They're doing the Star Wars night. And I'm gonna hopefully get to meet Gritty. I'm really excited because I love Gritty.
Who?
Gritty, the Philadelphia Flyers mascot. I love him.
I don't know who that is.
Google Gritty.
Gritty?
Gritty, like
Griddy?
TT.
TT? Gritty. Mascot. Oh. I've seen that around.
I love him so much.
Why?
Look at him.
I am looking at him.
He's amazing. Yeah, I saw him. I was in Center City, Philadelphia a couple weeks ago, before a different Flyers game, and they had a big inflatable Gritty. And then I saw, it was from distance, but I saw they had real Gritty, and I was freaking out. I love Gritty.
What is he for?
He's the hockey team mascot.
Hockey.
Mm-hmm.
Sports.
I don't care about sports. I care about Gritty. There's also, speaking of Philadelphia mascots, there's also the Philly Fanatic.
Interesting.
Yeah. Why would you have a regular animal for your mascot?
When you could have that thing.
Exactly.
Interesting.
There's also eagles, I guess, but whatever. But yeah. That's really it.
Yeah.
That right now.
I mean, that could be your source of like happiness from someone in a costume because you don't really know it, you know?
Yeah. And like he has these like crazy googly eyes that move all around when he shakes his head. He's awesome.
He is something.
Amazing. He's beautiful.
Well then, I think that is a podcast.
That was quite a podcast.
It went around, but like that's usually how it goes.
Did okay. I don't know maybe we'll podcast next week. Maybe we'll use Thanksgiving as an excuse to take a break because there's no Star Wars.
Yeah.
You
could do, well, you can't, but you could do a Canaan Thanksgiving with Canaan turkey, Canaan stuffing.
Canaan?
Yeah. Freddie Prinze Jr.'s cookbook has the whole Thanksgiving area.
Interesting. I won't get a Thanksgiving. I'm already on duty. So
I am too.
Dorm with
Go ahead.
Oh, I said I'll be stuck in my dorm with no kitchen.
I will just be working, so I can't exactly have a turkey in there for 8 hours because I will be at work for 8 hours or more. But
I don't know what I'm gonna eat because everything will be closed and I don't have a kitchen. Yeah. Maybe we'll podcast next week. Maybe we won't. Star Wars, please give us something. Like, come on.
A little something.
Anything. I mean, obviously comics and books, but just give us something.
Again, you could just read War of the Bounty Hunters.
I could. Maybe actually Saturday I can't. Maybe Sunday I'll run up to Amalgam Comics and see they have War of the Bounty Hunters.
It's on the Marvel Comics app too.
I don't know my iPad. Darn it. Okay. I can get it on my phone maybe. We'll see. There's also a Life Day comic one shot.
Yes. Is that the one that my dad and I made a TikTok on?
Did you? I don't know.
I think it was something because we made a commercial about Life Day.
Interesting.
This was a bit ago.
Find something for next week or not. We'll see what happens. We have like a month and a half-ish until Boba Fett. So there's that. Maybe is that really it until then? I'm sure they'll give us something, right? They have to.
They don't have to.
But,
they didn't give like they just Star Wars. They could be gone for years.
No. I mean, what's coming out next year? Andor at the end of the year. Mando season 3 is supposed to be next year too, right? And
yes.
The other thing, Bad Batch season 2. Maybe something from any of those. Or Obi-Wan. Or anything.
More Rebels would be cool.
Rebels. So many things. Give us something.
You just have to join Lucasfilm so that way you can like tell them like,
I'm
hey,
trying, man. I'm trying.
Try harder, okay?
Sorry. I've actually put out so many applications for their internship program for the summer.
Where are they? Are they in LA?
San Francisco.
Ooh.
This is for summer, not for my fall internship.
Okay, I was gonna say that San Francisco is really far.
Yes.
From
No,
at least
I'll just have a daily commute from LA to San Francisco. I'll drive there, work, come back, and then drive back there.
Yeah, or just like sleep in that internship area.
Yeah. I'll just like make a little burrow under the Yoda statue in front of Luke's office and sleep in there. Oh, jeez. I guess a car would make sense. Sleep in a car.
Still don't know how to drive.
I don't know what to say to that. Thank you for listening to Star Wars Geek Girl. Oh, plugs. Star Wars Geek Girl Facebook page is Star Wars Geek Girl. Twitter and Instagram at SW Girl, Star Wars Geek Girl. Poll every month. Quizzes on Wednesdays, blog articles on Fridays, and book reviews on Mondays. Today's quiz for Life Day was, what would your job be? Setting up a Life Day party. So go find that out, I guess.
Yes. For the Rogue Rebels, there's theroguerebels.com. Instagram / TikTok is at the Rogue Rebels. Twitch at Rogue Rebels Podcast. Anywhere you find Star Wars Geek Girl. Facebook page The Rogue Rebels, and Twitter at Rogue Rebels Fam.
Dun dun dun.
Yes.
You said that very dramatically. I appreciate that.
My dad does it a lot, so now you have to do it. It's like now I have to, you know.
Yeah, I get it. We should have your family back on the podcast at some point. It's been a while.
Yeah, my mom is her own boss now, so
I saw. That's so congratulations. That's so cool to her.
Yes. Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't do anything. Yeah, because my dad, I was like, "Oh, how are you, Dad?" Like I called him, and he was like, "Oh yeah, your mom's gonna be home in like an hour," and I was like, "Isn't it like 5 where you guys are?" And he was like, "Yeah, she comes home at 5 now," and I was like, "Wow,
super cool.
That's nice." So, yeah, my mom's cool.
Yes.
She does lawyer things. Yeah. If you need lawyer advice, you should go to her and give her monies.
Or just give her monies with no advice.
That too. Either works. Both is good.
Thank you for listening to Star Wars Geek Girl. I was Zoe.
I was Lizzy.
May the force be with you, and goodbye.
Star Wars Geek Girls. They're geek girls that like Star Wars. And sometimes cry.